I had always been fond of sweets, but preparing them was rare in my husband Hussam's house. One day, a few months into a marriage that had started coldly, Hussam barely listened to me. I confessed my longing for a sweet treat. The very next day he returned with a bag. The surprise was a shock. Expensive Al-Washa sweets, which he had brought in secret from his mother and sister. How dare Hussam, who never breathed without their permission, commit this sudden act of rebellion? I felt astonished, even suspicious. He had never done anything for me before. No sooner had I tasted the sweet than a heavy drowsiness overcame me. In the morning I woke up dizzy and in a strange state. In the kitchen, my mother-in-law greeted me with a searing look, as if I had committed a great crime, and harshly asked why I had woken up so late. Her reprimand was baffling, as if she knew about the sweets. Then I asked about Hussam, and she replied coldly, "Will he stay and wait for you? His wife hasn't woken up yet." Her mysterious glances and strange smile awakened a feeling of a hidden secret within me. In the evening, my mother-in-law summoned me. Her bizarre questions about my studies and my past for the first time heightened my anxiety. I returned to my room to find him waiting for me, with the same sweets. A fleeting happiness washed over me, thinking he was no longer angry. But his painful gaze, which I had never seen before, confused me. I asked him, and he replied, "Nothing, but tell me, won't you always stay with me?" His sudden change and strange words began to instill fear in my soul. I ate the sweets, and as my eyes began to close, I saw a strange smile on his lips before I drifted into a deep sleep. My condition worsened. I woke up late the next afternoon, my limbs trembling, unable to stand. I went downstairs with difficulty to find my mother-in-law and sister-in-law talking in hushed tones, suddenly falling silent as soon as they saw me. My mother-in-law's face went pale, and I realized they had been talking about me. My suspicion of them grew, and I was certain that this change in my body and mind was not natural, and that they had a hand in what was happening. I began to suspect everything, even Hussam. He brought the sweets every night, and I became accustomed to them and waited for them, feeling a strange comfort afterwards, but my sleep became heavy, and I no longer woke up during the night. One night, I pretended to eat the sweets and started acting as if I were asleep. I heard a whisper from outside. I crept silently behind the buffet in the hall to see Hussam entering his mother's room, followed by his sister. A long conversation started between them, then Hussam's voice rose as if he were shouting. I didn't understand what he was saying, but it was the first time he had ever raised his voice at them. Hussam returned to the room later, and when I asked him about his delay, he lied, claiming he was at work. That night he insisted that I eat the sweets. I refused, but under his insistence I ate a little. While I was between sleep and wakefulness, I felt a prick, like a needle, in my body. I tried to open my eyes, but I couldn't, and I thought I was imagining things. I turned off the light. In my doze I heard a close whisper, faint voices I didn't understand, as if someone was talking beside me. I woke up early, and found Hussam quickly ending a phone call when he saw me. I asked him about last night, and if someone else had been with us in the room. He became flustered and his face turned pale, but I covered the situation, saying with a forced smile, "Don't worry, maybe I was dreaming." I sensed my mother-in-law's coldness, and remembered how she had pleaded with my parents to ask for my hand, and how she used to honour me. I also remembered that my parents used to refuse every suitor who came forward for me, then agreed to Hussam after some hesitation, and then rejoiced when my mother-in-law first withdrew before returning and insisting, "I want this girl for my son's wife. I won't let her life be ruined." In the afternoon, my mother-in-law burst into the room angrily and said, "You've become cunning. You want to make my son revolve around you. What are you trying to prove with this act?" She was about to reveal a dangerous secret when Hussam entered and interrupted her. I realized then that my act a previous night had not been in vain. My mother-in-law continued searching through my belongings, and Hussam continued returning late. One night he woke me up smiling with the sweets. He said, "If you had waited a little, I think you don't like the sweets as much as you used to. You used to eat them with passion." I ate some, but I felt strange dizziness. Suddenly, I saw a girl entering the room, but my body was too heavy with drowsiness to care. In the morning, I decided to stop eating the sweets. Everything had changed since I started taking them. That night I pretended to sleep after taking the sweets from him with a smile. I heard him speaking English with someone, and at midnight someone entered the room. I opened my eyes slightly and saw a scene that made my blood run cold. Hussam was standing with another person discussing medication. Then that person approached me and stuck something like a needle into my arm. I felt a severe burning and stinging sensation, and I heard whispers between them, as if they were draining life from me. I wanted to scream, but my body wouldn't obey me. I remained still, enduring the pain and the fear. I woke up in my worst state, with bloodshot eyes. I realized that Hussam was hiding a secret from me, and that his mother was his partner in it. I felt disgust towards him, and a desire to escape to my parents' house. In the evening I didn't leave the room. When Hussam returned, we didn't speak. My eyes fell on a bandage wrapped around his arm, and he didn't bring the sweets. The memory of last night prevented me from asking. My health deteriorated. My chest tightened. My head felt like it was about to explode, and my heart trembled. One night, Hussam returned late, and I angrily said to him, "Hussam, what do you want from me?" "Why are you ignoring me? I've been sick all day." He looked at me with a strange look, then left without saying a word. The next day I went shopping with my sister-in-law. We entered a restaurant and suddenly I froze in my place. I saw the same girl who had entered my room at night, sitting at a table opposite us. I quickly left the restaurant, realizing that Hussam was betraying me and using me for his own purposes. I returned home, destroyed everything in the room and burst into tears. In the evening, Hussam entered the room holding the sweets, but he froze when he saw the mess. He asked me what happened. "What's wrong with you?" I screamed at him. "You're still asking me. Tell me the truth. What do you put in the sweets?" He replied with shocking calmness. "I was putting sleeping pills in them." I screamed, "And why?" He said, "Because I can't bear to see you suffering." I looked at him sharply and said, "Enough, I know your truth." "I want a divorce." Hussam became angry and said, "You don't even know yourself. Tell me first, what do you know? And who was that man who entered the room? And who is that girl who visits us at night?" Then he added bitterly, "Do you know why your parents refused to marry you off? Because they didn't want you to marry anyone. You are psychologically ill, and you will lose your mind sooner or later. And any man who marries you will surely divorce you." He continued in a desperate voice, "My mother herself didn't want this marriage, but I insisted. I was putting sleeping pills in them for you because I'm afraid you will die. They are part of your treatment. And the girl you saw is the doctor who treats you. And that night, the doctor who gave you the injection was with me." Then he sighed. "Every day I argue with my mother because of you. You have cancer, and that's why your parents were afraid you would die or go mad. And that's why my mother told your father, 'We will take care of her. And don't believe the superstition of magic.'" My tears poured out, and I realized the extent of the injustice I had inflicted on this man who sacrificed everything for me. I am the one with cancer, and he is treating me secretly out of love and compassion. I felt ashamed and, weeping, promised him never to suspect him again. He smiled at me reassuringly and said, "You will recover soon, God willing."